I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Vikings going up against the Panthers. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call on this Week 3 matchup.
Thank you, Larry. It's hard to believe this place first opened 20 years ago in 1996. Bank of America Stadium, that's where we're at in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their third-year quarterback now, Teddy Bridgewater. He was 6 of 6 as a rookie, 11 and 5 as a sophomore. Pretty good uptick.
It really is. And how many times have we heard from coaches that you make your most improvement as a player between year 1 and year 2? I'm going to say they're wrong in terms of Teddy Bridgewater. I think he makes more improvement again in year 3 because they want the ball downfield.
Adrian Peterson off to the races. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. The very first play from scrimmage, how about that? Talk about setting a tone.
And people always talk about doing exactly that in the first 5 minutes of the game, the first offensive and defensive series. Who's going to gain an advantage? Well, we saw exactly what happened there. A tone was definitely set by the offensive team.
On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the defending NFC champs on offense now. They'll be led out by the former Auburn man, Charles, hard to believe, already in his 6th year now, Cam Newton.
And every eye in the stadium goes to him as soon as he appears, doesn't it? There are very few players that have that type of effect. Doesn't matter whether he comes out for warm-ups, whether he's come out for the game, to start the game the first time on the field. All eyes on number one, and rightly so. He may be the best player in the game.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a number one receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit higher.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. He's got the second-team All-Pro from a year ago, Greg Olsen. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them. Every now and then I scratch my head when I see the draw play called, especially after a great run the previous play. Keep attacking. Sometimes the draw plays develop slowly, and that allows the defense to react.
And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on 3rd down. A play fake to Stewart. It's Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 50, Newton. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in. Because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. To throw on second down is Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Completes it to Dixon. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the 1st quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
Maybe a little of both. And And this one's incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Second and 10. Newton again. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Oh, he just threw an in. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'd be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They run again with Peterson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. The ball carrier there, Adrian Peterson, he turned 31 back in March.
But after his return from knee surgery a few years ago, that incredible return, I don't think we look at his number the same way as we do a lot of running backs who turn 30.
Yeah, I agree. And right now, standing 17th all-time in the NFL rushing ranks. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
That was another good run, and he's having an excellent day. And right now, I don't think his team could have any more confidence in handing him the football.
Let's go. Way 90. Way 90.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
First down, here's the run with Peterson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
But we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Bridgewater off the play fake. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. So on 4th down, the Vikings will call on their punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. Back deep for the Panthers, Ted Ginn. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Stewart is the lone setback. Now Newton. And this one brought in by a man who missed all of last year, Kelvin Benjamin. A very solid gain of 27. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move. And
look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. The rookie J-Ron Curse with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. We get a look at the Carolina defense as they work their way into position. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field, and I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Well, we'll see if they can do that again. Second down, Bridgewater. The left side caught by Diggs. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Johnson with a completion over the middle. Touchdown, Vikings. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10, and he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good. And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he finds a man. It's Olsen. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who covered him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Tight.
Now Stewart on 1st down. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Well, in that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
Have they come up with a nickname for just Jonathan Stewart? Remember when it was double trouble when he was running with D'Angelo Williams in Carolina? But, boy, what a year he had in 2015.
Yeah, it was just 11 yards shy of 1,000, so close, but kind of stepped out of that shadow, didn't he?
Certainly did, and gave the Panthers a real identity running the ball.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on Madden. I'm getting killed by the Vikings. I'm like the Panthers are like 21 Minnesota, Carolina 3.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you score once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here.
You want to play Fortnite?
They ran that one well, and not only did it...